Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and I want to give my commentary on Melody Cherie's latest TikTok live. I also want to talk about why, in my opinion, Melody's spiritual TikTok live is so important to sales culture. Now, before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. All right, so Melody had a TikTok live today. It was He is Risen. It was on this Good Friday, a Good Friday indeed. And as soon as I heard about it for the very first time, I thought, wow, this is a very creative TikTok live that she's having. It's not every Easter or every day, even that you really see people combine spirituality with sales and on such a large and popular platform as TikTok, which is very diverse in culture. You know, I love TikTok for the conspiracy theorist in me. I watch the Lake Lanier videos, the Illuminati videos, the Jaguar Wright content, the Diddy content, the Aaliyah and Beyonce and Jay-Z content on TikTok. So I love that because it's such a huge platform, beloved to lots of people. A lot of Black content creators are able to make money on TikTok. And here is Melody Cherie bringing spirituality with sales on TikTok. I thought it was brilliant and brave. Now, first, I want to get into some of the highlights. So you see the beautiful banners in the background, beautiful pictures of Melody in her floral attire that you can check out right on her Instagram page. It was a part of the Jay Bolin, one of their collaborations on a collection before. And she has the He is Risen banner. And as you can see, there was a quartet, like a praise and worship team right on set. I thought that was fabulous. And she obviously asked them to dress in all Black. I thought that that was a good balance of definitely standing out as like a quartet there to sing gospel songs, and at the same time they looked contemporary, you know, even a little chic with all Black. I thought that that was an excellent choice for them. I love the beautiful display right in the beginning. It started at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I thought it was just a gorgeous display with the banners, and then she opened up in prayer and the praise and worship team sang. I thought that was awesome. I was very impressed. And then throughout the program, I'm calling it a program, you know, she sold Seventh Avenue Beauty products. She sold the Goli products. They still have that partnership. Obviously, Goli is very satisfied with Melody Cherie's performance on TikTok. And she, you know, sold her products and it was great. And there was lots of engagement in the chat, lots of comments, lots of likes, and that's very important. And her brother Marcus was there. Miss Deborah was there, her fitness trainer. I love that she has those personal connections on the TikTok lives as well. It's really a blessing that they are able to fly out to Los Angeles with Melody as well and give that personal touch. That's also great for sales. It helps with people trusting you, and in her case, trusting Melody and her products, to know that she is so warm and inviting, and she has family on the set. She has her fitness trainer on the set who helps her stay healthy. I think that those are excellent points for people to be open-minded and open up their hearts to trusting her products and applying it to their skin and hair. I think also, again, that is very, very smart. And because everything about the packaging of Seventh Avenue Beauty always looks so beautiful, from the labels and the containers and the product itself, the titles, the scents, It's very feminine, it's very soft, it's very floral, and it just helps you to relax. And when she presents it in such a professional way, she talks about the features and the benefits of her products. You can't help but want to buy them when you're watching her TikTok live. And there were definitely other content creators in the chat, like Queen Sheba and Braylon. So people definitely were there to support. And, I love the TikTok staff, how they are also there to support Melody. I think that's great too. I think that's like kudos to TikTok. They don't just throw people out there to sell alone. They're on set, they're there with their cell phones to show everyone how to access coupons, how to, add things to your cart. So I think that that is very smart. That is another subtle way to get people to trust. I remember, so I started shopping on TikTok because of Seventh Avenue Beauty. From Melody's very first TikTok, I started shopping on TikTok. And I've only bought Seventh Avenue Beauty on TikTok. I remember last year, I believe her first like big TikTok show was like in September. And in any event, I bought some products and like your very first purchase is like 45% off. And I remember texting my cousin, Angie, I'm like, oh my gosh, I shopped on TikTok for the first time and it was 45% off. And she was like, really? I was thinking about, trying TikTok. I didn't know if I could trust it. And then I let her know, like, oh, I got my items. I got it super fast. I said, but I got it from Melody, Seventh Avenue Beauty. I can't speak on other companies, but I got it super duper fast because I could sense that she was iffy, like she didn't know if she could ever shop on TikTok. So that word of mouth travels fast. And when you have all of these different items set up to make the customer feel comfortable, I think that that's very, very good. So it just really removes any doubt for people to be fearful. And I think that that's great. And, Melody, she was selling Goli. I think that that's huge because Goli, they're already pretty popular and noticeable in your local stores like CVS. And so I was already familiar with Goli before Melody started partnering with them. And the fact that they wanted Melody to sell their products, that says a lot. They can already tell from watching her content on social media. She's articulate, she's professional, she has different businesses that she's selling, so she'll know to sell our products. And the fact that she is still in partnership with Goli lets me know that they are satisfied with the performance, the way her customers are crossing over and buying not only Seventh Avenue Beauty, but Goli. Like it's like a cross sell. If you've ever worked in banking or finance and sales, those cross sales, those additional products. So I think that it's great. And I love how I feel like just overall with Melody's content, it's very diverse. We've seen her in gowns, whether it's mimosas with Melody or if she has a speaking engagement, we see her dressed up. And when she does TikTok, she is in her merch. She could be in a hoodie, she could be in her tights, whatever she wants. And it's showing how women, we have different layers to ourselves. We can be business casual and go make our money and represent intelligent, professional Black women. And then we can also be dressed up for church and praise the Lord. But your church may also have a casual day, a jeans day, and you can go in your hoodie and your leggings and still be articulate, still be professional, still sell your products, still make your money. So I love that about Melody, how she shows all sides to herself. And I believe that Melody's spiritual TikTok live that she had today, it was so important because that's a great way to attract young people, of course, to God, but also to Seventh Avenue Beauty. If you are someone who, part of your spirituality is fellowshipping at, a place of worship, you know that the church is always trying to figure out how to draw more younger people in, especially in, and I'm not, it's both business and spiritual, right? Like they would love those young couples that are starting out with making their families, having these young babies, because if they can really get the kids into the youth department, then maybe the parents will stay, right? So that's like the business side to it. They want those young families to stay long term for years and years, making donations, that's, let's just keep it real. And then also, of course, they want the young people to be spiritual, just to have that relationship with God and that covering. Because when you are a young adult, you could make mistakes, or you could be working on your judge of character and be around the wrong people. And if you have that covering under God, he can keep you safe from things that you may not be able to see with your own eye, but he sees it. So I think that her having a spiritual TikTok, it just allows for her not only to engage with new customers, but they could think, wow, she has like a praise and worship team, and she's talking about how good God has been to her and how he's blessing her businesses and brought her out of a bad marriage. Wow, that's great. I wasn't expecting to hear that while learning about her products. And, she's so pretty and she's so young. I think that that's a really beautiful attraction with her having the spiritual TikTok. Also, again, I feel like it's very creative to think, let's have a Good Friday TikTok. And kudos to TikTok that they were open to it. Sometimes you can't really talk about God on the job. That's like a big no-no. Even on your job, you may have noticed that you have a holiday party, not a Christmas party. They don't even want to mention Christ because they don't want to seem like they're alienating people of different religious groups. I get it. I ain't tripping over it. I'm not tripping over it. Some people might trip over it, but like I get it. We're all of different paths of life, and you don't want to seem like you're just crapping on other religions, but highlighting one. So, I get it. I get it from a business corporate standpoint. So I'm really proud of TikTok that they were cool with the Good Friday TikTok live. I know that the government may feel like TikTok is allegedly, and I ain't saying this TikTok, I love the app, but some people like conservatives, they refer to it as ultimate spyware, and that ain't my fight. I ain't in that. But I have to say, on this Good Friday, them totally embracing and supporting this Good Friday TikTok show, I absolutely love it, and I think that that's great. And I think that it's very brave for Melody to present that and share God with her customers, because sometimes people can be resentful if you bring up God in your conversation and in anything. I remember like years ago being on someone's YouTube live, and they like closed out in prayer, and it was in the black tea sector, so you're talking about celebrity news, celebrity gossip, and she wanted to close out in prayer. It was a few years ago, so it was probably due to Carnival 19. And the next day she went live, she said that, people were leaving comments like, that's not why I come on here. That's not what I want. So sometimes people can really give you backlash for mentioning spirituality. So that's very brave of Melody that she would weave God in to her sales pitches, her sales show. So I really tip my hat off to Melody. And, what I also thought was dope was that she gave exposure to the praise and worship team to her large audience, especially for her customers that may not go to church. They may not have been raised in church. They may not know anything about a choir or a quartet or a praise and worship team. So she just shared a little bit of church with them. And I thought that that was very nice. So I am just so impressed and blown away today with Melody Cherie's Good Friday, He is Risen TikTok show. Melody, you're going to be blessed for being so open and brave and with your spirituality and sharing it with others. And Melody, I feel like you're never judgmental, or, you ain't tripping over stuff. If somebody curses or, makes a joke, you're not shunning them, and yet you share God. So I love that about you. I love that balance. And I think that that's awesome. So, what did you think about the Good Friday He is Risen TikTok live show? What did you get? What did you treat yourself to? Definitely let me know down in the comments. And I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Shows Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. I hope that you are having a great Friday. I am. I'm laying low. I'm chilling because tomorrow I'll be getting up early, getting my hair done. Hey, getting my locks retwisted. And then I'm going to go see the new Michael B. Jordan film, Sinners. It's already been getting great reviews, but that doesn't surprise me. It's Michael B. Jordan collaborating with his friend and filmmaker Ryan Coogler, who wrote the film. Super talented Black man. So I cannot wait to see this movie after I get my hair done. And I'm waiting on Kenya Moore to upload this Ding Dong Confessions video. My goodness. I keep checking, and she said she's doing final edits and she's apologizing, child, on CP time for real. So I am going to give my commentary on that, but that'll more than likely be Saturday night or Sunday. But I will talk with you all soon. Bye.